The fight against climate change moved a notch higher on Thursday at the ongoing Africities summit in Kenya's lakeside city of Kisumu. This is after 10 African cities pledged to improve their air quality. The initiative by C40, a network of cities, seeks to tackle climate change by getting cities to commit to improve the quality of air for their citizens. We're now joined by CGTN's Robert Nagila live from Kenya's lakeside city of Kisumu for more on this. So Robert, it's the second last day of the Africities Summit. What's on the agenda?
Well, thank you very much, Penina. There was an interesting dialogue session this morning, moderated by the organizers, in which former presidents from Mozambique and Seychelles took part. Now, the topics ranged on a number of issues, touching from climate change, policy, planning, and influence at the table of huge summits such as the COP27, which will take part later this year in Egypt. In the afternoon, we expect a scaled-down sort of economic forum in which we expect to hear from some Chinese investors on the role they've played in Africa's infrastructure. And there are still a few other meetings taking place, which we expect to all wrap up by day's end. Now, tomorrow, the last day, there will be a closing ceremony, after which we expect the adoption of a declaration of some sort, and then the setting up of targets, presumably towards the next summit. Now, I am joined by George Mwanza, who is the mayor of Chipata City in Zambia. Now, he also holds the distinction of being the youngest mayor in Africa. A very good afternoon to you, George. Thank you very much for joining us.
Afternoon, my friend, and afternoon viewers across the world.
Now, George, perhaps for the young viewers or young people across the continent who are thinking of getting into leadership positions, let's just start there. What advice would you give them about your journey into this leadership position? Because you became a mayor at the age of 27, which was last year.
Well, thank you. I must say that the route of becoming a leader, political leader in Africa, is quite tough. It is a fact we must all understand. And I must say that my interest to provide leadership, political leadership, that has so much influence on the decisions that are made on behalf of our people is very important. And this is a decision that drags on from my childhood. I dreamt of a time that I would be in leadership to make decisions, to equalize the challenges of the people. And that has been my driving force.
Now, George, you also took part, or you were there at this dialogue session with the former presidents this morning. I just want to get your take, and what were some of your highlights at this session?
Well, I must say that the future of Africa belongs to us, the young people. And when people like President Chisano and President Faure and others leave the stage, we must be prepared as young people to take up the mantle to drive the African Renaissance to the next level. And our interest is the fact that local government is the blood and the heart of transforming Africa. And these are the questions that we are putting to our leaders today. That how did they influence and what decisions did they make to entrench decentralization in Africa? Because when we give power to the people, it is important that the people decide and define their own destiny. And these were the questions that we are putting forward to our former leaders, that they played a role, and we needed to know what is it that they put in place to make sure that they prepare the ground for our generation.
Well, interesting take there from George. George Mwanza, the mayor of Chipata City in Zambia. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Penina?
And Robert, the fight against climate change was discussed at length at the summit on Thursday. What key issues came out of that discussion?
Well, climate change has featured prominently on the agenda here over the last 4 days from West Stage. Yesterday was about air quality, how to improve air qualities in the air quality in cities, so that the citizens or the residents of those cities can also benefit. There are a lot. It has an impact on the livelihoods of people. It has an impact on the health of the residents from these cities. So this featured heavily, as you're about to see in this next story that we did yesterday, in which 10 countries joined Durban, making it 11 from Africa. Let's have a look. Thank you so much. A significant moment in Africa's journey to tackle climate change. On Wednesday, 10 major cities signed the C40 Clean Air Cities Declaration, committing to improve air quality. They are Abidjan, Accra, Addis Ababa, Dakar, Ekurhuleni, Freetown, Johannesburg, Lagos, Nairobi and Tshwane. The 10 joined Durban, the first city to sign on to the initiative in 2019, and the hope is that they will help bring more African cities on board.
They have a responsibility as big cities, given the resources that they have, to actually be innovative and find solutions that they implement in their own cities, but that they also transfer to other cities in Africa.
According to a 2019 study, air pollution was responsible for over 1.1 million deaths across Africa. Of this, 697,000 were caused by household air pollution, largely from indoor cooking stoves.
There's very little appreciation of the fact that, for example, it increases the risks of heart disease, of strokes. It has implications on the health of fetuses and pregnant women.
Cape Town in South Africa is among the top cities on the continent, ranked as least polluted. The city's representative says more can be done to ensure better air quality for Cape Town residents.
Where we're trying to get as many individuals outside out of the cars, into the buses, into the trains, into walking, riding. That would promote a healthier lifestyle, reduce the CO2 emissions.
Also present were mayors of smaller cities who shared their challenges and solutions and who plan to join the initiative in the future.
We cannot control the burning of charcoal. That's the situation that we have. But more importantly, like this time around, we're now switching to solar.
With more cities coming on board, the push to get more African cities to commit to clean air quality for their residents is gathering momentum. It may take a while longer, but the political will is present. Robert Nagila, CGTN, Kisumu, Kenya.